Hey, welcome back to the Uncomfortable is Okay podcast. I'm your host, Chris Desmond. This is the show where we make you better at doing hard things. In keeping with our mini episodes, here's another strategy for you to help you get out of your comfort zone, take on challenges, and do hard things. This one is all about developing a strong why. So what is it? In essence, it's developing a deep understanding of why we're wanting to take on a challenge, or why we're wanting to do things, or why we need to get through this next hard period. When we're developing this strong why statement, we want to look at the different areas of motivation that contribute to our overall motivation. The first is internal motivation. So how is this going to make me feel as I do it? So this internal motivation is more associated with the ongoing process. External motivation or extrinsic motivation it's about the outcome. It's about what reward am I going to get at the end once I've got through this hard stuff. And social or pro-social motivation is all about how is what I'm doing here going to benefit society or help those people around me that I love. So before you go out and tackle anything hard or take on a challenge, spending some time to look at each of these different areas of motivation in regards to the challenge, in regards to the hard thing that you're going to do, and thinking about how does this connect with each of the internal, the external, and the social motivation? How is this challenge or hard task or event that I'm going to be doing, how does it link back to each of those different aspects of my motivation? And what's really powerful is if you can create a short statement around all of them, or a short statement in regards to each of them, that you can repeat to yourself, or you can write down and you can stick up somewhere that you're going to be spending a lot of time as you're doing this hard stuff or taking on this challenge. So once you've got an understanding of your motivation, your strong why, where do you apply it? So developing this understanding before you start is really vital, especially if it's going to take you a lot of willpower to overcome that initial inertia of starting off something hard. It's a long-term strategy. So sitting down, especially for someone who is a questioner like myself, if you've been listening to the podcast for a wee while, you understand that I love asking questions, and I'm getting better at asking questions of myself as well. So having this strong why, or this deep understanding at the start of something, gets rid of those questions of, should I be doing this? Why am I doing this? Because I already have that answer there. So applying it in the beginning is a great strategy, but also frequently revisiting your why and your why statements, if you have them, keeps you on track. It stops you from wanting to quit, and it keeps you going when the going gets tough. It allows you to continue to push on and push through. So applying it in the beginning, but also applying it as you go through the challenge. And don't be afraid if your strong why or aspects of your strong why change as you developing as a person, as you're learning more stuff from the challenge. It's fine for it to evolve, and in fact it should evolve. Especially if it's a project that is going on for months or years or decades, that you're not the same person that you were when you started this. So why should your why be the same as when you started it? So the strategy in action, I thought it would be good actually talk about myself with this, and it's something that I use reasonably frequently, and currently I'm using it at the moment as I'm trying to create a business around making it easier for people to do hard stuff, and looking at my why from those three different aspects. So the internal, the intrinsic motivation for me is that I really enjoy having conversations with people. I enjoy listening, I enjoy learning, I enjoy teaching, I enjoy asking questions. I really value having control over process and how I apply myself and where I apply myself. So I really love the process of creating this and challenging myself in new ways to think differently. The external motivation for me, or the extrinsic motivation, is this is a little bit selfish, and most of the time extrinsic motivation it's either a reward or it's a deterrent. And I probably slightly egotistically want to have a big impact on the world. And one of the best ways I think for me to have a big impact on the world is to facilitate other people to have a big impact on the world. So if I can help a whole lot of people get out of their own way and do hard things, then they're going to create some pretty cool stuff, and I'm going to have a hand in that as well, which is a pretty cool legacy to hopefully leave behind. And the social motivation for me now is wanting to be a great role model for him in terms of going out, learning new things, taking on challenges, getting excited about something and being curious about it and following it, and not having to do what everyone else does. So that's my social motivation at the moment. And why does this work? So there have been a bunch of studies done in terms of the different aspects of motivation. One that I've just been reading, so it's front of mind, is a study by Grant in the Journal of Applied Psychology, looking at the mediation effect of people that have intrinsic, extrinsic, and social motivation all happening at once. And those people that have all three, actually their persistence, their performance, and their productivity in the tasks they were doing really increased. So having all three of them there, if one wanes, then you can rely on the other ones to take over. So that's developing a strong why. Thank you so much for getting uncomfortable with me today.